and they've taken it by storm, and people want to watch them, even if it's just to have them lose. And when they don't
Yeah.
lose, it makes people so mad that people buy the next one just to see them lose again, and that is
Yeah.
a never-ending cycle. And what Logan Paul did when he came to wrestling, I did not have high expectations. It was for me just a gimmick, but the guy performed at an insanely high level. What is your opinion on that front?
Uh, uh, the thing that I just mentioned, that I was only watching here and there. So
Right,
whatever I got from the the clips and the opinions which I read online,
right.
Logan Paul, he needs to get his due.
Hmm.
He did some pretty amazing stuff, and basically the perspective is to get people to watch. And like you said, that MMA, boxing, or professional wrestling, he
Hmm.
got people to watch,
Yeah.
even if it was from a state of they wanted that the other guys beat up him to the mat,
Hmm.
but he got the numbers,
Yes.
and that's all that matters with
Exactly.
regards
Yes.
to the business. Yeah.
Right. I mean, those two brothers. I mean, you can say anything about them. They are business geniuses. Even with his Prime energy drink, I mean, that is insane. You see Prime everywhere around the world now.
Yeah.
So insane that we need people like that in every sport to bring that sport up. Even if the
Yeah.
purists hate it, that's
Yeah.
what the business needs.
Yeah.
Right.
Agreed. Agreed.
So Abhishek, this is like a very beaten question. Everybody asks this to everybody in wrestling all the time. But if you had a Mount Rushmore for wrestling,
Yeah.
what would it be?
uh, you know, I started watching at the age of 5, so I can name many people with regards to who I you know resonated with. So
Right.
I can say maybe The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, CM Punk, and Hollywood Hulk Hogan, maybe Bret Hart.
Nice.
The
Right.
list goes on and on.
Yeah, it's very difficult,
Yes.
right, to put four.
John Cena, there are many people.
Right.
Yeah,
Right. And like you said, there are some people you just resonate with. So
yeah.
yeah. And with CM Punk, right? I mean, I really, really wanted to see him succeed everywhere else. It's been a little rough last few years for him, both in MMA and professional wrestling.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Do you think we'll see him back again after the whole AEW fiasco?
Uh, it's very difficult, as of this point, to say what can and cannot happen. Many
Right.
people are, speculating that we might see him in the upcoming Survivor Series pay-per-view, which is in
Right.
Chicago.
Hmm.
Um, I don't know. My brain, who is a fan, who is a mark,
Hmm.
he wants him, at the next pay per view, and it would give me you can say, a push to watch
Hmm.
professional wrestling after a long ass time,
Right.
basically. And, but the thing with regards to me as a person, as an individual, I was at a time a huge mark or a fan of CM Punk, but right now, if somebody asked me, I would want him to be happy.
Right.
If he's happy staying at home, be
Hmm.
my guest. He's at home, he's happy, I'm happy. And if he's there, he thinks that there are some stuff which he needs to check off his list, like main eventing WrestleMania, maybe wrestling Roman Reigns, maybe wrestling Seth Rollins, maybe Cody Rhodes. If he wants that, and if WWE thinks that they can make money off of him still,
Hmm. Hmm.
you would see him at Survivor Series.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have a comment that he's under the devil mask. That is CM Punk. I'm not sure what devil mask, but
Yeah, in AEW, there's a storyline which is coming about.
Okay,
I
I
don't
think I
know.
missed that.
Yeah,
That'll be interesting if he is. Yeah, you never know. In wrestling, you can never say, right? And like they say, never say never. That is number one.
yeah,
Two, you never
yeah,
know. The story may just change overnight. Yeah. So that's interesting.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I had been a big fan of both CM Punk and AJ Lee.
Hmm.
And when they both left, it was really sad to see that they gave Nikki Bella that longest title reign just to get AJ Lee's name off the list.
Hmm.
Yeah. But talking about titles, obviously it's not like MMA or boxing where there are sanctioned fights and you have to make weight and stuff like that. A lot of it is storyline driven.
Yeah,
But still, titles hold a lot of weight for both the audience and for the wrestler's career. Uh, right now, we've seen this weird thing in WWE. Like all over, all the time, in the past when we had splits, we had the WWE and the World Heavyweight title, which was the WCW title. Then again, they
yeah.
came back together again, split. Then suddenly you had the Universal title. And now, officially speaking, there are three world titles. They haven't retired the Universal title yet or unified it with WWE yet. And there's the World Heavyweight title, which Seth Rollins has. It, for me, as a fan, it kind of, dilutes the whole concept of having a world championship title and confuses the lineage a little bit. But in your mind, how does it work for you? I mean, because you're from the industry, what would the mindset be there, in your opinion?
You know, your perspective, I would agree absolutely. It
Mhm.
dilutes, the stuff, the lineage and whatnot. But there might be some decision at play in the back of the minds of the bookers, the agents, and of course Vince McMahon,
Mhm.
that there needs to be a championship on this, on this show, SmackDown, on Raw, and there are people who can represent the title better, so they want to have those two titles on the stuff on their
Right.
shows. But right now, what has gone about throughout the years, now the championships are just like props, maybe. I would think that maybe when Roman Reigns had the title
Mhm.
for the longest of time, that would have brought in a lot of prestige
Right.
to the championship, because it was very reminiscent of what uh, Kazuchika Okada of New Japan Pro Wrestling had. He had a lengthy run. There was only one championship,
Mhm.
which meant the world to the wrestlers
Mhm.
in the promotion. So it brought the prestige that this is our champion, this is our world, championship holder. If
Right.
you have to become the best, you have to beat this guy. There
Right.
was a time in 2014, 2015 when AJ Styles, joined New Japan Pro Wrestling. He had to beat Okada in
Right.
order to, rise to the occasion that now I am the best.
Right.
So right now, Roman Reigns is the standard.
Right.
What I can, testify to.
Yeah. So the person who beats him gets made just with the fact that he beat Roman Reigns. It doesn't matter
Yeah,
how long the title reign goes after.
yeah,
But beating him is the key. Yeah. Okay.
yes.
Somebody said wait till Vaibhav find out how many sets of title belts there are in AEW. Oh, I've been trying to keep track, but to be honest, yes, you're right. I get surprised to see the number of belts there because not just their own belts, they have ROH coming in as well.
Yeah.
Uh, Defy belts turn up over there every now and then, and for a
Hmm.
point of time, Impact was coming in there, and people were showing off the Impact belts as well. So not just
Yeah.
the AEW belts, but even the others that they bring in. It sometimes gets very very confusing. I totally agree with you there. But what Tony Khan
Yes.
is doing is something very different. So I think it's still experimental, but it's very good for professional wrestling, in my opinion. Both as a fan and if you ever a wrestler, I would love the fact that AEW has come up. Yeah,
Yeah. Agreed.
right. Um, so uh, right now, I know you haven't been watching a lot of wrestling from what
Yeah.
you mentioned, but even from what you hear, who do you think are the ones who are coming up as new wrestlers who you see becoming legends going ahead?
Uh, I can say Darby Allin is one of the said wrestlers who can be,
Hmm.
and uh, yeah, right now I only get Darby Allin.
Okay.
Yeah, because you know, I have currently what I got to know with regards to Darby Allin, that was that he has the potential, he has the hunger, he has everything that there is, and he has focused himself on his path to being the best in professional wrestling. So
Right.
that is what gets you that hey, this guy has that, and he is also being featured in main event storylines with the likes of Sting, with
Yes.
Edge or Adam Copeland,
Right.
Christian Cage.
Right.
So they are making sure the other guys as well that this guy Darby Allin makes it to the level.
Right.
He gets it.
Mhm.
To the stars per
Right.
se. Let's see what happens.
Let's yeah. I hope they build him very well because the whole Sting Darby Allen connection. I think that's been working very well for both him and for AEW. So if that keeps going, and yeah, with Adam Copeland and Christian in play, yeah,
Yeah.
it should be good. Hopefully, yeah. Let's see. So, I, if I'm not mistaken, have you wrestled? Because I thought you wrestled at some point, but I'm not sure if I got it wrong.
No,
No,
I
not yet. Okay.
haven't wrestled. I only got drop kicked once in the ring.
Okay. Was
Yeah.
it like I mean, yeah, did so I know there are wrestlers who are stiff and wrestlers who are not. I hope this one was
Yeah.
not a stiff drop kick.
I have to maintain kayfabe, so
Yes, okay, sure. That
yeah,
hurt. You broke a few ribs, whatever.
yeah.
But do you see yourself performing or trying to get into a match?
Uh, Only if the situation asks me to. If you go about in the past that there was a time when there were matches booked with
Yeah,
Paul Heyman or Eric Bischoff or Vince McMahon, they were there just for the sake of getting the other guy over.
right.
So if that is the mind, that is the POV for the said stuff,
Mhm.
then sure, why not?
Nice. And you guys have the hardcore title in Wrestle Square, right? Which is something
Yes.
I used to love that concept back in WWF, and even 24/7 when it came up, I was excited initially, and then they just turned it to crap. But
Yeah.
that was a really good way to get authority figures involved without really ruining the title lineage. I thought, uh, at
Yes.
least back in the day. So
Yeah.
yeah, fingers crossed. Maybe you as maybe Abby Maniac someday decides he wants the hardcore title and goes for it.
If I get the championship, I would, deposit it in the bank locker. Never take it out.
Take
I
it out
would be the only champion who
again.
has a reign of 30, 365 days or 400 days or whatever.
You sound like the $1 million man and his $1 million belt. Nice. Uh, oh, interesting. What's somebody's asked a question? What's one wrestling myth that Abby got to learn when he got into the business that he didn't know before?
uh,
That's an
you
interesting
know,
question.
there were a lot of things which I got to know of post when I joined Wrestle Square. Previously, I didn't have a effing clue.
Right.
There were a lot of things that what happens backstage, what can and cannot happen once you have the mic in your hands,
Mhm.
and what should be your mindset with regards to cutting a promo, and you know accidents can and cannot happen,
Right.
and you have to go with the flow on the fly. How the the outcome of the match can change.
Hmm.
A lot of stuff. You have a, you can say, rose colored glasses previously that
Right.
I would earn million billion dollars from this this business and whatnot. But when you get into the nick of it, the thick of it, then you get a vast perspective that the stories which are told
Mhm.
that Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn got into the business and they had to grind for at least 15 years. Then
Right.
afterwards they got their their job, or you can say their employment with WWE NXT and then WWE. That too
Mhm.
wasn't guaranteed because Kevin Steen was not in quote unquote shape, which the WWE
Mhm. Yeah.
thunders
The
about. But
yeah, the
still,
look that McMahon loves. Yeah. Right.
yeah. But he got out of it.
Yeah.
Kevin Steen, he you can say he won them the management over with his mic skills, with his presence, with his
Mhm.
his work ethic and everything in between. So
Right.
that's that.
Okay. And w- there's been some scary incidents, that we hear about back in WWF, because Vince McMahon sometimes used to take risks, and sometimes it would go very badly. And the Owen Hart incident obviously is top on that list. The way he passed away, unfortunately. Did you see any such scary incidents in India that you can talk to us about?
Um, I you know the only thing which I got to know of, or which is every day, that could be that with regards to what you are asking, that physical sense, there have been one or two incidences of injury which
Hmm.
have happened. One, it happened in a ladder match, which was a fatal four-way bout for the Intercontinental Championship a few years ago.
Hmm.
And other things which I personally can attest to, it could be the promos, that
Okay.
sometimes I go too far and then
Hmm.
I get this thing, the promoter and the director, he can tell you that
Right.
you went too far, it is not good, we have to suspend you for a bit and you can stay home, whatever, and stuff like that.
Right.
But you go into that perspective that, was I wrong or was I right?
Right.
Or or if it is the work culture which gets you, that was there someone who isn't happy with what you are, or what is that the people aren't happy with what you have become
Hmm.
in a very short period of time. But
Right.
you have to take care of everything that there is at play. It can't
Right.
happen, obviously, but
Yeah.
I have now come to the conclusion that I would do my best each and every time if I have been offered an opportunity to step in the ring, and I would make sure that the thing which I have been offered with, at getting the other guy over, getting myself over, getting the company, the brand over, that the brands from all over the world, whether it's New Japan, whether it's any AEW, WWE, or Defy Wrestling, and
Hmm.
anything,
Right.
they notice that there is some stuff which is brewing in India. We
Right.
can't take ourselves uh, you know for granted, and we should work with the promotion here in India. We can build mountains in the
Right.
years to come. So
Right. Great.
yeah,
Abhishek, I think your camera feed is going on and off. Maybe there's a little bit of network issue, but we can hear you clearly. But
yeah.
yeah, we've been speaking for an hour. I didn't even realize it's been an hour now. So I don't want to bore people anymore. But before
Yeah.
we end, right, if you want to share something with people, or if Abby Maniac, your character, wants to share something, go ahead. This is your stage right now.
Just I want to say that follow your highest excitement. If you have a perspective in today's, you can say world, where you know here we are told, here in India or anywhere else, that it is only the money and everything which matters. But as the years are going by, it comes to a very harsh realization that the only thing which really matters at the end of the day is your peace and your happiness. So
Right.
I would like to say that if you are doing two things, have one for the money, but have one for your happiness, for your joy, and for your peace as well.
Perfect. Perfect. And I should have ended there, but somebody asked another question, and I thought maybe we'll address this last one before we get off air. So somebody wanted to ask you: is there chances of Wrestle Square working with CWE or other international projects?
Uh, with the other brands
Hmm.
uh, globally, I would say yes. There is a strong possibility in the in the near future. With CWA, I can't really put my stamp on it. I can't say anything with regards to that. But you know, if it makes sense, if I'm just sharing my opinion,
Right.
not of the brass and of the people who are in management, but if it makes business sense for
Hmm.
both the brands, i.e., CWE and Dresser Square,
Hmm.
they should work and have a super show maybe anywhere in India and make noise which goes throughout the globe. That's it.
Right. So
Yeah.
yeah, don't hold Abby to it. But in wrestling, they say never.
Yeah.
And I really hope one day we see Abby leading a tank and invading CWE the way he. That'll be amazing to see. But, but yeah, thanks a lot, Abby. This has been a lot of fun. Thank you for
Thank you.
joining us. I'm sure people enjoyed this. And yeah, good evening. I hope to meet you in person one day. Yeah,
Yeah. Likewise.
perfect.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Thanks.